Hey team, I wanted to discuss with you something today that I have spoken about a little bit on social media this week. So, last week I had a week where I was, feeling a little bit more emotional than normal. I was distracted eating. So, I did notice that my clothes were starting to feel a little bit tighter. And usually, what I do with that is I get myself on the scale. I don't really get triggered by the scale anymore. I can teach you guys how to do that too. But basically, I got on the scales. I was like, oh my goodness, I weigh more. I got a little bit upset about it. I journaled, I moved on. But basically, I had to look at what I was doing throughout the week and go, okay, hang on, what am I doing with my food? Because I was exercising, I didn't feel very stressed. And so I did feel emotional, not stressed, but emotional. So I had to look at what I was doing. And basically, I'd put on a few kilos, 2 kilos, sorry. And I realized it was from cooking a lot in the kitchen throughout the day and grabbing foods, which are what I teach not to do, which I usually don't do, but distracted eating. So eating in the car or eating, while you're cooking foods and you're not actually taking the time to sit down, consume the foods, let the foods like go into your bloodstream, work out what's going on, what sort of feedback you're getting back from that food. And essentially I gained weight. So I noticed that because my clothes were getting too tight and I was uncomfortable. So on a feeling basis, I didn't feel great. So what I did was obviously jumped on the scale, saw there was a couple of kilos, and I don't usually like talking in scale and kilos because I don't really think it's something that as a general society we buy into, a certain weight meaning that we are good or bad, which I don't really buy into and I don't believe. But as a mass, we are conditioned this way. So I generally go from my clothes and there's scales at the place that we're staying at the moment. So that's kind of how I could measure it in that particular way. So, don't worry. Weight is just your gravity to the ground. It's not defining on who you are, what type of mother you are. It doesn't define, what type of person you are at work, what type of wife or husband you are. It's just your gravity to the ground. So it's just your relationship with the Earth's surface, essentially. So we put a lot of emphasis on this and we kind of learned that it's good or bad. Where it comes into place, where I believe, is when you start to feel uncomfortable, or you feel sluggish, or you feel emotional over things, and you may have gained weight because of emotional eating, stress, something along the lines of your emotions are not linked up with your body, so you've eaten more than you actually generally need, and you have gained weight or gained that gravity or gained excess, or you need to do a run and you need to get your lymphatic system moving or your energies moving. The idea of what I've spoken about this week, the reset day, is to give yourself 48 hours. You can do 24 hours as well, but give yourself 48 hours to reset yourself on a physical, emotional, and spiritual level. So it's really just a 48-hour, focused 48 hours where you really think about what you're doing with food. You put timers in your phone to remind yourself that you are enough, that you love yourself, therefore you're choosing these particular foods to eat. And it's really just planning out 48 hours where I say, for me, it's a higher protein 48 hours. For some people, it's juicing. For some people, it's eating only green things. So obviously do your education and try different things for you. But for 48 hours, all you do is you consume foods that make your body thrive. So obviously cutting out, your sugars and foods that can create an imbalance in your body. So from a scientific level, yes, you'll have to educate yourself a little bit on what is good for you. I can't make that decision for you, and that's not what I do in my business. But what is good for you and what makes you thrive and what makes you feel great. So for me, it's really eating like protein dense meals. So I eat throughout the day. I eat between 4 and 6 meals. And for me, I might have like some eggs for breakfast with a little bit of cheese, Mid-morning snack, I would have maybe a green smoothie with a protein scoop in it, and do your education on that sort of stuff too, because for such a long time my digestive system didn't like whey protein, and I had to find a protein that was quite good for me, and lower whey protein is better for me. Pea protein is better for other people. And please do not get discouraged by going into a supplement shop and finding one that works for you. If you go in there and you're overwhelmed with the information that someone's given you, that's not the right person for you to be giving that information. You need to find someone that is actually truly going to speak your language. And if they don't, just push back and say thank you, but no thank you. Get in your car, drive along and find another one. I found one down in our new place that we're living, and he was speaking my language. He spoke to me basically like a human being, not like a ripped up steroid junkie person who would think that I knew exactly where he was as well. So I'm not in it to do athleticism and do an INBA competition. I'm in it to just get a little bit of extra protein into my diet for that day and feel good about my decision. So yeah, green smoothie, maybe like, a salad for lunch in terms of, some greens, something light, and then another piece of chicken or something like that in there. Proteins for me are really basic and boring, but you can choose like bacon steaks or normal steaks, anything that's going to give you, enough protein for your body to really push through that energy system where it's not using carbohydrates, or it's not using other styles of energy first. So without going too much science, basically it meant that for 48 hours I was refocused mentally. Physically I felt better because I was refocusing my energy system on burning the fat that I didn't need, that I consumed the week before, because I was a bit more emotional. But the only thing that I say with this, and the thing that actually is the lock and key to it, is your affirmations. So when you add positive brain power to something like this for 48 hours, you can get great physical results. You can lose the weight that you may have gained because of something, and you can do this every week if you want, once a week, or you could do it every month if you wanted to. But the idea behind it is that you have a really strong dieting mindset with it. So your relationship with it is really, really, really important. And that is what the I Quit Diets brand and everything I speak about is about. So it's not going just into body positivity. It's not going just into, health and fitness. It's about having a really healthy relationship and getting to your ideal and thriving body, however feels good for you. Because when you get there and you feel empowered as you go there, and you say positive things to yourself as you're getting there, like, I am enough, and you're telling yourself that you deserve these results. When you get to that result at the end, you will feel so empowered because you felt empowered the whole way along, that when you get to the end result, you're going to maintain it because it was so easy. It felt natural, it felt energizing, and it felt great. It didn't feel like restrictive dieting, healthy eating, where I couldn't have anything I really wanted and I felt like I was really missing out. All of that stuff you need to get out on paper. So anything that's holding you back from truly feeling empowered and you've got to acknowledge all of that junk. So if you want that Milky Way and you're saying for 12 weeks I'm not going to have that Milky Way, it's going to be worse for you to binge on chocolate at the end of the 12 weeks than it is to just say, I deserve my ideal body. I'm going to move a little bit more tomorrow because I love my body. I love energy. I love exercise. I found an exercise that works for me. I enjoy foods. I never feel guilty. I don't have anxiety over food anymore because I've deleted all of that junk. What you're going to do is basically show yourself that it is okay to have that Milky Way and have your ideal body at the end of the 12 weeks. So that 12 weeks in one day, there's no real difference. There's no trigger between the 12 weeks and when it crosses over to midnight on 12 weeks and one day later. You truly believe that you deserve it, therefore you continue to live your life in a healthy, fit, and happy way. The only way that you can stay happy with your body and your physical results is by aligning your mind and body. So when you get those physical results, it's really important to make sure that your mentality is aligned with it as you go along the way, so that when you see the abs poke through or the biceps there, or you can chase your children around the park the whole time and you are the jungle gym for that kid, that is when you're going to feel empowered by your results. Because you felt empowered the whole way, and that is when you're going to appreciate them and not try and think, I've got to do more than what I'm doing already. When you continue to tell yourself that you are enough, that it is safe to be loved, that it is safe to make choices that make you feel good, and that you enjoy exercise, and you enjoy the energy that exercise gives you, and that you deserve to feel that great, like that good, that is when you will maintain your results. So, reset day, 48 hours, positive mindset. If you would like the document, or you would like maybe to see the foods that I did, I put them in my Insta story this week, but I also kept them in my phone. So if you would like to see what I've done, just comment below, or send me an email at hello@iquitdiets.com, and I will show you exactly what it is that got the 2 kilos off my body in 2 days. That is how quickly weight can shift when you're ready to detach and let go from it. That's it from me, guys. Be brave, be you. You are enough. Bye.